I love showing the cover of the book, the Guru Gap. On the left side you've got the just the client or the investor, and on the right side you've got that destination pin. And by the way, what is the destination pin of every American when it comes to retirement planning? They simply want their money to last as long as they do. They don't want to run out of money before they run out of life. And so the question is, and by the way, that's borne out in survey after survey. I used to think that taxes were their greatest concern because that's sort of right up my alley, and I have to read. I'm a little disgruntled to report that is not their number one concern. It's like their number two concern. The number one concern is making sure they don't run out of money. And so the question is, what combination of strategies give them the highest likelihood of making sure their money lasts as long as they do? Well, if you subscribe to strictly guru-based retirement planning principles, there's actually a pretty high likelihood that you will run out of money before you run out of life. You have to adhere to the 4% rule, which gives you an 85% likelihood your money will last. Some studies are even showing that that's as low as a 75% likelihood. Some people, even Susie Orman, is on board with this idea that it's no longer the 4% rule; it's the 3% rule. If you adhere to the 4% rule, your likelihood that your money will last as long as you do starts to drop like a rock. And so, if you adhere to guru-based financial strategies, you have it's just not enough to help you reach that ultimate destination pin. There is a yawning chasm that stands between our clients and that ultimate destination, which is making sure they don't run out of money. And so one of the reasons why financial gurus don't avail themselves of the mathematically viable strategies that are sort of corroborated by mainstream academic studies is that their job is to take inherently complex but important financial principles and distill them down into 10-second sound bites. Okay. They have to sort of dispense paint by the number, one size fits all, black and white retirement advice, because their goal is to appeal to every possible demographic. In the very moment that they start dispensing customized, tailored, personalized advice, then they start to exclude a portion of their listeners, and that's a great way to sort of not expand your empire, but to sort of diminish it. And so they have to paint by the numbers, dispense one size fits all advice, and they speak in pithy little aphorisms that for example, 100% of cash value life insurance sucks 100% of the time. Or Ken Fisher, I hate annuities and so should you. I'd rather go to hell than sell you an annuity, and here's why. So this is the type of advice that we get, and by nature it's nebulous, it's devoid of nuance, and it can't possibly give us the tailored instructions that we need to reach that final destination pin. And so really the thesis of the book is that our clients need more. They need more sophisticated advice to be able to bridge that chasm of advice that's sort of put out there by the financial gurus. And I think this book goes a long way towards helping to bridge that chasm and hopefully sort of advance the dialogue around sustainable retirement planning principles.
I think that's genius, David. In my own practice, I have made a point of, if somebody brings up one of those names in particular, sometimes I will just bring up Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman's names. I'll say, you know what, one size fits all advice is great if you're helping people get out of debt. But if you're helping people make their money last the rest of their life, it doesn't, because it's a highly individualized process. And it sounds like the book absolutely makes that case.
Yeah, I mean, if you're making 50,000 and spending 60, Dave Ramsey is precisely the guy you should be talking to right about now. I mean, that's a superpower. But is that just because he's good at doing that particular part of the puzzle, does that by definition make him an expert in sustainable retirement planning principles? Does that mean that when he condones an 8% sustainable withdrawal rate in retirement, that necessarily is going to lead to a positive outcome for our clients? And the one does not necessarily, lead to the other. How do I sort of solve that enigma of people who are so enamored of Dave Ramsey that they don't want to meet with somebody in the mainstream financial community? And I think we'll talk about that today. I treat it a little bit like the cross-examiner who is trying to discredit a witness on the stand. And we'll get into some of the advice that Dave Ramsey routinely dishes out during the course of this Zoom meeting. But I think that ultimately the goal is to put the financial advisor in a position where they can discredit and knock the legs out from under these gurus so that they can at least have a fighting chance to make to make headway with our clients and advisors who have been sort of fallen under the spell of these financial gurus. And I think that the other group that we're aiming at are the sophisticated, disciplined investor who can't possibly wring the most efficiency out of their retirement savings by simply adhering to the guru-based advice. It's just not enough. They will cost them hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and increase the likelihood that they run out of money in advance of life expectancy, in some cases 15 years early by implementing this advice. And so really anybody who wants their money to last as long as they do is a potential reader of this book.
Folks, my upcoming book, The Guru Gap, How America's Financial Gurus Are Leading You Astray and How to Get Back on Track, is now available for pre-order on Amazon. Take the opportunity to order your copy today. By the way, in the next 10 years, I'm looking to put 1 million Americans on the road to the 0% tax bracket. If you would like some help implementing a balanced, comprehensive approach to tax-free retirement that shields you from the impact of higher taxes down the road, head on over to davidmcknight.com and click on the Connect with an Advisor button. I'm happy to refer you to an advisor in the PowerZero network that has been trained, vetted, and qualified personally by me. If you're a financial professional and want to learn how to become a certified PowerZero advisor, head over to powerzero.com and opt into my free video series. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. I'll respond to every single one of them personally. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the bell so you never miss a video. This is David McKnight. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.